2020 Game Awards is just around the corner and is going to be broadcasted live on their channel on Thursday, December 10th. And I'm really excited to find out who's going to be taking all those awards. I'm also really excited to see what games are going to be announced. Anyways, the games nominated for Game of the Year are Animal Crossing New Horizons, Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Hades, and The Last of Us Part 2. And any of these games could be the Game of the Year, and are all games that I've played and enjoyed. Animal Crossing New Horizons is just such an amazing game to play with family and friends. This game could also have a really good chance of winning Game of the Year. The main reason why people like me enjoyed this game so much is because it was released on March 20th, which was around the time when this pandemic happened. And while people were on lockdown, Animal Crossing and Doom Eternal were released on the exact same day for people to play. Animal Crossing also had a huge and amazing community where people can play together and join each other's worlds. They also had constant updates, new features, and new stuff to do in the game every month or so. So, I think Animal Crossing has a good chance of winning because of how great of a game it is. Doom Eternal is a sequel to Doom 2016. I personally think that Doom deserves to be nominated, and I also think that it deserves to win Game of the Year. I just really enjoyed playing Doom 2016, and I really had high hopes for Doom Eternal, and it has certainly impressed me this time. For 1 minute or so on one of my most recent videos, I talked about why I really liked Doom Eternal so much. The thing I really loved about Doom Eternal is the constant action and the introduction of all the new enemies and bosses. I really don't want this to go on for too long, but I really enjoyed the music. The composer, Mick Gordon, has really done a good job because the music really matches the tone and mood of the game. The remake for Final Fantasy VII was definitely deserving, because Final Fantasy VII was released in 1997, which shows how old of a game this is. And again, this game is a remake, so it has somewhat of a similar story than the original. And when I look at a game that deserves to win Game of the Year, I wouldn't look at a remaster or a remake. I would expect a new game or sequel to be nominated or be winning for Game of the Year. Final Fantasy VII Remake did have new and very unique combat, and was a good remake in general. Ghost of Tsushima was another game that I absolutely think should win Game of the Year, including Doom. Ghost of Tsushima had a really cool plot and story, which was based on a true story if you didn't know that. I really enjoyed playing Ghost of Tsushima, and it sort of reminds me of Sekiro, which was another game that I really loved playing, and was the winner of last year's Game of the Year. I really think that Ghost of Tsushima has a lot of potential of winning Game of the Year. It has amazing graphics, cool combat, and is an open world game. I just think that this game deserves more attention, and really think that people should consider playing it. Hades is a game that I have mixed feelings about. The thing I really liked about Hades is the idea of the game, and the story where you play a character named Hades, which is a god that comes from Greek mythology. I really liked playing through the game. It had really unique enemies and bosses, and the combat was really fun to experience. The only thing that I hated about the combat is there's such a limited amount of weapons, which limits the player's ability to be creative. I just really wanted there to be more combat features and new mechanics. Nonetheless, I really enjoyed this game. It had a very cool art style and had a lot of interactive NPCs. I really think that's a good game, but there are simply games that were on this list that are better. And the last game that was nominated for Game of the Year was The Last of Us Part 2. This game I really didn't like much. There's so many different opinions where people either really loved the game and people who absolutely hated it. And in my opinion, I really didn't like playing this game. There's so many ways this game went wrong. When I played the prequel to the game, I actually really enjoyed the game. and enjoyed the story and everything about it. But The Last of Us Part 2 wasn't that good of a game. It was just a whole mess. There were leaks and spoilers of the story, and people were triggered by how the game would turn out, which made the game to be delayed even further. The game also has gone on sale, and the price of the game went from $60 to $30 because they were getting such a low amount of demand. On metrics, this game had a user score of 5.7 and a metascore of 93 out of 100, which was most likely rated by paid reviewers. The thing I didn't like about The Last of Us Part 2 is the story wasn't very well made, and the combat was the same as the last one. The Last of Us Part 2 did win this year's Golden Joystick Award for the Game of the Year, but that really doesn't mean anything. In 2018, Fortnite did win Game of the Year for Joystick Awards over Red Dead Redemption, which really doesn't mean anything, because the real thing that matters is which game would win in the actual Game Awards. Here's what I think. I'm kind of deciding between Doom Eternal and Ghost of Tsushima to win Game of the Year for me. Let me know what game you think could win Game of the Year. I'm personally really excited to see who would win and for all the things that are going to be happening in the Game Awards. To be completely honest, I really think that any game could win this award. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter who wins the most awards or who gets nominated the most. The thing that really matters is if you guys enjoyed playing all these games as much as I did. All of these games were really fun to play and had such a huge group of people work really hard on. Anyways, thank you so much for watching till the end, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And I don't upload quite frequently, but when I do, I try my best to make them as high quality as they can be. I try to upload every 2 weeks or so stay tuned for more of my videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.